Welcome students. We are discussing about the food security in India. In the previous class, we are discussing who are coming under the food insecurity. They are in that section. We have seen although large number of people are suffering from food and nutritious insecurity, still the worst affected groups are the landless people or people who are having small part of the land, artisans, casual laborers. They are most vulnerable to the food security. Today, we are going to discuss again about the section of the society who are facing the problem of food security. The example of Ramu, who was having a small part of the land. His son was also working in the house of the Sarpanch of that village, Raipur. His wife was also working there. But still, the family of Ramu, they are coming under the food insecurity because the rest part of the agricultural season, they are not getting proper food. Because after the agricultural activities is over, they are not getting any work opportunity. That is why in the next part of the 4 months, they are suffering from food insecurity. Today, we'll discuss how the situation is there prevailing in the urban areas also. In the urban areas, the food insecure families are those whose working members are generally employed in ill-paid occupation and casual labor market. That is prevailing in the urban area also, where the people are generally employed ill-paid occupation. Ill-paid occupation means they are getting less. They are working more, but they are paid less. And casual laborer, that is what sometimes they are getting work, sometimes they may not. This is what the case of the people where they are suffering from food insecurity. And these workers, ill-paid workers or casual laborer, these workers are largely run their family even with small earnings. By example, just by rickshaw pulling also. Here is the story of Ahmad. Ahmad is a rickshaw puller in Bangalore. He had shifted from Jumri Talaiya with his 3 brothers, 2 sisters and old parents. There he stays in a jhugi. But the survival of all members of his family depends on his daily earnings, that is from pulling rickshaw. On other days, he barely earns enough to buy his daily necessities. However, fortunately, Ahmad has a yellow card. Yellow card means what? That is generally issued for the people, those who are eligible for taking rice, wheat and kerosene from the ration shop. That is the PDS card. PDS card means Public Distributions Card. Ahmad gets sufficient quantity of wheat, rice, sugar and kerosene oil from his daily use through this yellow card that is issued to him. However, he doesn't have a secured employment and his earnings fluctuate every day. Sometimes he is getting work, sometimes he is not getting also. That is why his earnings fluctuate every day. During some days, he gets enough earnings for him to save some amount also after buying all his daily necessities. He gets this essential at half of the market price, that is from the ration shop. He purchases his monthly stock during a particular day when the ration shop is open for below poverty people. In this way, Ahmed is able to eke out his survival. But what about the situation when these people are not getting works? Sometimes they are working more, paid less. Sometimes they are getting work opportunity. Sometimes they are not getting. At that time, what happens? They are coming under this case. So, the social composition along with the inability to buy food also play an important role in food insecurity. People are there, those who do not have the capacity to buy food, they are also coming under this category. Thereafter, the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community and some section of the OBC, that is other backward classes, particularly lower caste among them, also coming under this category, that is of food insecurity, because these people are having poor land base or very low land productivity. Some categories of people who are coming under the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and OBC, they are having low land base and their production is also low. At that time, what about the situation? During this period of time, they are also coming under the food insecurity. Thereafter, the people affected by natural disaster who have to migrate to other area in search of work also coming under the food insecurity. Generally, during the time of disasters, calamities, during that period of time, people are not getting job opportunity. At that time, they have to migrate from that place to another place, particularly in search of job. At that time, what happened? At that time, they are also facing the problem of food insecurity. Today, just see the case of pandemic, coronavirus. There are many people who are working in different sectors, but as a result of shutdown or lockdown, you can say, people had to migrate from that part to other parts of the state. Even people, those who are working in different corner of the state, they have to return their home. What will happen? When such people will come, what will be their future? What will be there in their hand? No job opportunity. So this section of the society are also coming under the food insecurity. And particularly the rate of malnutrition prevailing among women is also another important. This leads to sometime in case of pregnant women giving birth to malnourished children. So a large proportion of pregnant and nursing mothers and children under the age of 5 years also constitute an important part of the community who are coming under the food insecurity. According to the National Health and Family Survey NHFS 1998 and 99 report, the number of such women and children is approximately 11 crore in India. Those who are coming under the category, particularly malnourished families are there. People are there, particularly in the case of the lower class, who are not able to feed their own children because of the job opportunity, lack of job opportunity. They are coming under the malnourished segment. So, according to the report of 1998 and 1999, there are 11 crore people who are coming under this category. The food insecure people are disproportionately large in some regions of our country. Some regions of our country means such as economically backward states with high incidence of poverty, tribal and remote areas, and region prone to natural disaster. So, there are different parts of our country which are coming under this category: economically backward states, high incidence of poverty, more prone to natural disasters, tribal and remote areas. There also the cases of food insecurity is very high. In fact, these states like Uttar Pradesh, that is particularly the eastern and southeastern parts of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, these are the tribal west states, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, and parts of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are coming under this category, where more number of people are coming under the food insecurity. After that, hunger is another aspect of indicating food insecurity. What hunger is? Hunger means not having proper food or enough food that leads to illness or sometimes death. That also indicates food insecurity, because this condition of hunger is arising because of lack of food. So that is also part of food insecurity. And hunger is not just an expression of poverty, it also brings poverty. That means hunger is generally arises because of not getting enough food. So when a person is not getting enough food, automatically he is coming under the poverty category. So that is also a part of food insecurity. The attainment of food security, therefore, involves eliminating current hunger and reducing the risks of future hunger. So it is the most important part to see that to eliminate current hunger, the situation of current hunger, as well as reducing the risks of future hunger. Food security will provide the opportunity for the people to reduce hunger, as well as it will reduce the risks of future hunger, because hunger is having a chronic and seasonal dimension. What is chronic and seasonal dimension again? Chronic hunger is a sequence of diets persistently inadequate in terms of quantity or quality. That leads to chronic hunger, which continue for a long period of time, and this is because of the diet. What type of diet? The diet deficiency in quantity and quality. Because of not getting proper amount of food and proper dietary food also, this leads to chronic hunger. And particularly poor people are suffering from chronic hunger, because the most important thing is that these poor people, their income is very low. They are unable to spend more amount of money, particularly in case of quality and quantitative food also. So that is how automatically they are coming under the chronic hunger, and their survival is also at the risk, because when they are not getting proper job or opportunity, how can they think about good amount of food or enough amount of food? That is why such people are coming under the chronic hunger. The seasonal hunger is related to the cycles of food growing and harvesting. And these cycles of food growing and harvesting is prevalent in rural area. Because why it is prevalent in rural area, this seasonal hunger? Because here in case of rural area, landless laborer, daily wage laborer, they are getting job opportunity generally in the month of agricultural season. That is what? When the agricultural activities are going on, like transplanting or weeding, all this during this period they get work. What about the rest of the time? They become laborless, they become workless. And such condition arises there in urban area also. Sometimes some people are there who are getting plenty of work opportunity, but there is no guarantee that they will get work another day also. So it means sometimes in the rural urban area also they are getting work, sometimes they may not be getting work. That is why they are termed as casual laborer. So this case of food growing, cycles of food growing and harvesting, that is prevailing in the rural area, and casual laborer, that is in the urban area, where the people used to do work as a casual construction laborer during the rainy season, but they are not getting the work opportunity. So such categories of people are coming under the seasonal hunger. And this type of hunger exists when a person is unable to get work for the entire year. So this seasonal hunger as well as chronic hunger continue for a long period of time when the people are unable to get job. And it is continue for the whole year. If they are not getting work opportunity, so it is become very difficult for them to maintain their livelihood. And how could they think about the food? And that is qualitative food. So this leads to food insecurity. You see, the percentage of households with hunger in India, that is a report. Rural area, in 1983, it was seasonal hunger 16.2, chronic hunger 2.3, total is 18.5. But by the end of 1999 to 2000, total hunger reduced to 3.3. Like that in urban area also, in 1983, seasonal and chronic, together it was 6.4. But by the end of the 1999 to 2000, it has been reduced to 0.9. So this figure shows us the data that seasonal hunger, chronic hunger, both in rural area and urban area, what it was there in 1983, it has been reduced according to the report of 2004. So we have developed in reducing the hunger in India, and that is how, because of implementing the policy of food security for the people. So that has been reduced, and India is aiming at self-sufficiency in food grains since independence. Now you see, 1983 it was there, now 1999 and 2000 it has reduced. The table shows us. So it means how it is possible? Because it is possible because India is aiming at self-sufficiency in food grains after independence. How? After independence, the lawmaker, the policy maker of India adopted several measures to achieve self-sufficiency in food grains, so that no one will go to bed without food. Particularly after 1965, India has adopted the strategy of agricultural revolution, that is what called green revolution, especially in the production of wheat and rice. You see the picture, the image that shows us a farmer from Punjab standing in a field of one of the high-yielding varieties of wheat on which the green revolution is based. Due to the introduction of the green revolution, the farmers became self-sufficient due to increasing amount of production. That is how Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, officially recorded the impressive strides of the green revolution in agriculture by releasing a special stamp entitled Wheat Revolution in July 1968. See the image of the stamp. This is because of the importance of green revolution. To commemorate, to celebrate the importance of green revolution, the stamp has been introduced by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. So it was first introduced in case of wheat, later on it was replicated in rice also. As a result of this, the production also increased. But though the production was increased, still it was disproportionate. Disproportionate means it is not adequately produced, because the highest rate of growth has been achieved in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, which was 44.01, and 30.21 million tons in 2015 and 16. The production of in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh was 44.01 and 30.21 million tons in 2015 and 16. The total production was 2.52.22 million tons in 2015 to 16, whereas it has changed to 275.68 million tons in 2016 and 17. You see, what was the production in 2015 and 16? It was 252.22 million tons. But by the end of 2016 and 17, it increased to 27.68 million tons. So, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh recorded a significant production in the field of wheat, which was 26.87 and 17.69 million ton in 2015 and 16 respectively. But West Bengal and UP, on the other hand, recorded significant rice production of rice, that is 15.75 and 12.5 million tons in 2015 and 16 respectively. That is how this data shows us the significant amount of production aiming towards self-sufficiency after the introduction of the Green Revolution. See the bar graph, graphical representation of production of food grains in India, that in terms of million ton. In 1960 to 16, the production was 80 million ton, whereas by the end of 2018 and 90, it was 281.37 million tons. So, from this graphical representation, we have got the data that the food production in India as compared to the period of 1950 to 1960 to 61, it has been increased a lot. And that speaks the volume of the food production in India, which has been raised particularly after the independence. Now, the question is, why do we need food security in India? You see, with the advent of Green Revolution, that is in the beginning part of the 1970, the country has avoided famine even during the adverse weather condition. Prior to this period of 1970, there was no proper food grain production. Food grain production was there, but it was not so high as compared to the population. But today, day by day, the population is increasing, so also we have to increase our food production. And that is possible particularly in keeping in mind with the Green Revolution to supplement the increased population. So, India has become self-sufficient during the last 30 years because of the Green Revolution. With the help of this, we are able to produce a variety of crops all over the country. So, this helped us to become self-sufficient. So, but because of this increasing amount of food production, we are able to supplement the food facility to the people in times of adverse weather condition. So, the availability of food grains at the country level has further ensured with a careful design food security system by the country. As we are self-sufficient today, India has gained more production in the last 30 years. The policy maker, the lawmakers of the country, they have carefully designed food security system in India. How it has been designed? This system is having two components. For what? For providing food security. That is what? What are those? One is your buffer stock, another is your public distribution system. Through this system, the policymaker of India, they have particularly worked to eliminate this type of food securities, whatever, the chronic hunger, seasonal hunger, below poverty line, the work jobless people, then traditional artisans, people who are having less land or some part of the land, all these categories of people, those who are coming under the food insecurity cases, the government is trying its best. Government is trying its best to eliminate it, root out it from our country so that no one will come under the food insecurity. That is why it adopted two important system. That is through which comprises of buffer stock and public distribution system. We will discuss what this buffer stock is and what this public distribution or PDS is. Now, just look into the matter. What is buffer stock? Buffer stock is the stock of food grains, namely wheat and rice, procured by the government through Food Corporation of India. There is special agencies which is working in this direction, that is what? Food Corporation of India. And this is the branch of the government, organization, working body of the government, which is they are working day and night throughout the country to keep stock of food grains, particularly wheat and rice. You see, the FCI go down, which is full of wheats and rice, and the FCI, Food Corporation of India, purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in states where there is surplus production. Particularly this department, this branch of FCI, what is their duty? They purchase food grains, particularly wheat and rice from the area where there is surplus production. And for that, the farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops. The government is announcing a pre-announced price. Pre-announced price, which is also called as minimum support price, MSP, before the production. The MSP, minimum support price, is declared by the government every year before the sowing season to provide incentive to the farmers for raising the production of these crops. Particularly, the farmers will give more importance for the production of wheat and rice so that the government will be benefited as well as the people will be benefited. Now the question is how the government will be benefited? Government will be benefited in the sense the FCI department particularly will be able to purchase more amount of food grains. But when it is possible? When the production will be more. That is why, keeping in mind in increasing stock, particularly in case of wheat and rice, the government is announcing minimum support price so that farmers will get incentive and they could raise production of these crops also. And these purchased food grains are stored in the granaries, what I have shown you in the previous picture. Let us see the storage of grains. Whatever the amount of food grains, that is wheat and rice, is purchased by the government, it is kept in the granaries so that in case of the adverse condition, weather condition or natural calamities or famine, this could be used to provide food facility to the people. Now you see, in the present situation, coronavirus situation, from the month of April, the government has announced free wheat and supplying free wheat and rice to the people up to the month of November. Now you see how it is possible because of the buffer stock. We have plenty amount of wheat and rice. That is why the government is able to provide food facility to the people. Now those who are coming under the food insecure category. Now you can say it has increased. So students, today we have discussed about the need of food security. Why do we need food security? and which people are coming under the food insecurity category, both in rural areas as well as urban areas. Thereafter, we have discussed about the policies of the government to provide food security to the people by introducing organization like FCI, that is what Food Corporation of India. Next class, we'll discuss about the PDS, the another components, that is public distribution system. So before concluding the class, let us test ourselves. I will ask some questions to you. The first question is, why is there a need for food security in India? Particularly, why do we need food security in India? The reasons are overpopulation, population is increasing day by day, unequal production of food grains. Production of food grain is not equal in all parts of the country. Somewhere it is less, somewhere it is more. Then corrupt administrative practices. When the government is providing all sort of basic means to the people, corrupted administrative officers are there who are not able to implement all those policies which has been introduced by the government. Thereafter, hoarding and black marketing. Whenever the government is providing all sort of stocks on the midway, it is the hoarded black marketers. So it is very difficult for the people to reach at the grassroots level. These are the causes. The next question is, how is food security ensured in India? How is food security ensured in India? The answer is, food security is ensured in India by the following means. The first point, enough food is available for all. Second, all persons have the capacity to buy food. And the most important one is, there is no barrier in accessing food also. Through this means, the government is trying to maintain food security or to ensure food security in India. With this, today we will conclude the class. Next class, we will discuss about the public distribution system or PDS.